The LinkedIn Podcast Network is sponsored by TIAA. TIAA makes you a retirement promise, a promise of a guaranteed retirement paycheck for life. Learn more at TIAA.org/promises pay off.
Hey, before we get started, I wanted to let you know about a live conversation the Next Big Idea Club is hosting in a couple of weeks with the one and only Yuval Noah Harari, historian and author of mega bestsellers like Sapiens and Homo Deus. He'll be talking with us about his latest book, Nexus, A Brief History of Information Networks from the Stone Age to AI. If you'll be in New York City, join us live on September 11th. Otherwise, tune in for the live stream. For more details and to get tickets, go to nextbigideaclub.com/events. Now on with the show.
LinkedIn presents.
A no is a door that is closed at that moment, but there's windows out there, and you got to find the right window to keep going forward. So don't take no as the end of the road. It's simply the signal to pivot left or to pivot right, but it still means keep moving. Don't stop.
Hey everybody, it's Monday. I'm your host, Michael Kovnat, and this is the Next Big Idea Daily, the show that gives you quick insights from the latest nonfiction books, making it effortless for you to get smarter while sipping your morning coffee. Just make sure you click follow in your podcast player to get our future episodes and sign up for our Book of the Day newsletter using the link in the episode notes. So, do you know where you're going in your career? If you don't worry about it, because planning ahead is overrated, according to Marie Bennett, author of the book Dream First, Details Later: How to Quit Overthinking and Make It Happen. Ellen is a successful entrepreneur who launched her apron and kitchen gear business, Headley & Bennett, largely on impulse, without a plan, without financing. And while that might not be the right path for everyone, Ellen draws on her experiences to share ways you can get started quickly on your passion projects. Here's Ellen.
When you have a big, giant idea and something exciting that nobody else has seen, you just have to begin. And don't let yourself get caught up in all of the details that will make you go into analysis paralysis. You need to decide what you're going to do and start. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be all great and everything in its right place, but it's going to be further down the road than you sitting there noodling on it. So get going, begin, and worry about those details later. Humble enthusiasm. When you are first starting out, you got to get people jazzed about what you're doing and pumped up for whatever it is that you are trying to bring into the world out of thin air. And the way I've found that to be possible is by not bragging about what you're doing, not saying how grand you are and how awesome your idea is, but simply taking a very humble approach, and you bring humility and excitement together, and that creates humble enthusiasm. And it's about talking to somebody the way that you would talk to your friend or your neighbor when you're so pumped to share some cool thing you found or some new idea you discovered. That is what that feeling looks like, versus when you walk into a store, you're walking in a mall and someone's trying to sell you cream or hair straighteners or whatever that may be. You cringe and you pull yourself away from that person because you feel not like a human, but you feel like a transaction, and nobody likes feeling that way. So use humble enthusiasm when you are trying to get your ideas off of the ground with people. Share your thoughts, but be willing to be very open to feedback. And that is why the humble part is in there. If you can talk about something and then people give you their 2 cents, you can listen and wholeheartedly take that in and do what you want with it, but we'd be willing to have conversations about the thing that you're doing and share it with such joy that they can't turn you away. How I deal with no. To me, a no is not a no. A no is a signal to turn left or to turn right, but that the path forward at this moment is not the right path for this moment, and that's okay. And it's very similar to a sign painted on the outside of our building here in Los Angeles that says, if the front door isn't open, climb in through the window. A no is a door that is closed at that moment, but there's windows out there, and you got to find the right window to keep going forward. So don't take no as the end of the road. It's simply the signal to pivot left or to pivot right, but it still means keep moving. Don't stop. Don't throw in the towel just because somebody decided that at that moment they weren't ready for what you had to offer. Crashing and learning. One of the biggest leaps of faith that I took in starting my company, Hedley & Bennett, was when I took my very first order of 40 aprons. I didn't have a company truly, I didn't have sewers or a business plan, but I got myself an order and I had a customer and I needed to deliver on that. And I got those first aprons out the door, but I can't say that they were perfect. But if I hadn't begun, I would still be standing there staring at the idea of maybe one day starting an apron company. But because I started moving, because I pushed forward, I was able to push that out into the world and evolve it and continually make it better and better until it was a perfect product. But I started with a minimum viable product, pushed it out, and then kept changing. So don't be afraid to make mistakes when you are starting out. That is absolutely 1000% a part of the journey. You cannot have successes without the failures. You cannot learn without some crashes, and you cannot succeed without some crashes. So be willing to lean into them, find the thing that gets you excited, and do that thing. Wake up and fight. What does that mean? It means that every day you are driving your life car, and it is up to you to figure out which direction to go, but to not stop. And you have the gift of life today, and you don't know if it's going to be around tomorrow. So you got to fight for all of it and go out there with gusto and think about what you have and not what you don't have, and push forward. Create the energy that you need, create the magic that you need, create the money, the opportunities, the path, all of it. It is on you and for you and to your benefit. The more you believe that you can do this and the more that you show up and try, the further down the road you will get. So don't for a second think that you are not capable enough. You absolutely are. And we are all here and so lucky to be alive. So wake up and fight and never stop doing that.
Okay, so if you're ready to embrace humble enthusiasm, go get yourself a copy of Dream First, Details Later at your favorite bookstore. And wherever you are on your career journey, we've got something for you at the Next Big Idea Club. From a curated hardback subscription service to an inspirational app, master classes, and live networking events. Check it all out at nextbigideaclub.com and use the code DAILY to get a special discount. I'm Michael Kovnat. I'll see you tomorrow.